You're 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 muted, which is your choice, of course. Okay. Okay, as a preliminary matter, this is Rob Benchley, permitted to confirm that all members and persons anticipated on the agenda are present and can hear me. When I call your name, please respond in the affirmative. Let's see, Caroline Ellis is, I don't see yet. Mary Lathrop will join us momentarily.
I am
Angus
here.
McLeod. Oh, right,
Here.
there's Mary right there. Okay, good. Thank you, Angus. Thank you, Mary. Clement Durkis.
Here.
Thank you. And Rob is here. Good morning. This open meeting of the Sconset Advisory Board is being conducted remotely, consistent with Governor Baker's executive order of March 12, 2020, due to the current state of the emergency in the Commonwealth due to the outbreak of COVID-19 virus. In order to mitigate the transmission of the COVID-19 virus, we've been advised and directed by the Commonwealth to suspend public gatherings. And as such, the governor's order suspends the requirement of the open meeting law to have all meetings in a public accessible physical location. Further, all members of public bodies are allowed and encouraged to participate remotely. The order, which you can find posted with the agenda materials for this meeting, allows public bodies to meet entirely remotely so long as reasonable public access is afforded so the public can follow along with the deliberations of the meeting. Ensuring public access does not ensure public participation unless such participation is required by law. This meeting may feature public comment. For this meeting, the Sconset Advisory Board is convening video conference via the Zoom app as posted to the town's website identifying the public may join. Please note this meeting is being recorded and that all attendees are participating by video conference. Please be aware that other folks may be able to see you and to take care not to screen share your computer. Anything that you broadcast may be captured by the recording. All supporting materials that have been provided members of this body are available on the town's website unless otherwise noted. The public is encouraged to follow along using the posted agenda unless I note otherwise. We're now turning to the first item on the agenda. Before we do so, permit me to cover some ground rules. I'll introduce each speaker on the agenda. After they conclude their remarks, the chair will go down the line of members, inviting each by name to provide any comment, questions, or motions. Please hold until your name is called. Further, remember to mute your phone or computer when you're not speaking. Please remember to speak clearly and in a way that helps generate accurate minutes. For any response, please wait until the chair yields the floor to you and state your name before speaking. If members wish to engage in a conversation with other members, please do so through the chair, taking care to identify yourself. After members have spoken, the chair will afford public comment to those members of the public that have joined the meeting via Zoom. Members of the public who wish to speak must state their names and be acknowledged and speak through the chair. Each vote taken in this meeting will be conducted by a roll call vote. All right. I'll make a motion to adopt the agenda as displayed on our screens.
Second.
Thank you. All those in favor? Mary Will?
I am in favor.
Thank you. Okay. Angus?
Aye.
Thank you. Clement?
Aye.
Thank you. And Rob is aye.
Caroline, aye.
All right. I don't have the agenda in front of me, so I guess we're going to go to 3 New Street. Is that?
I think that's first on the agenda. Rob, did you notice that Caroline arrived?
Oh, there she is. The chair notes and appreciates the arrival of Caroline Ellis.
Wait.
Thank you. My speaker is way quiet here. There we go. Okay, so 3 New Street. This is for, this is the Srail Club, I think. Am I correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Holly, do you have any information that you want to add to what's on here on the application? It doesn't have a name or a date or anything, but in the HABs survey, it gives more of a description of the significance of the structure. Is there anything that you want to add to that? I think you might be muted.
Oh, technical difficulties.
Mr. Chairman, I have a comment. This is Mary.
Thanks, Mary. Go ahead.
So I've been in this house fairly recently. When the new owners from Pennsylvania bought it, they were asking another architect to look at the plans, and she had me go in with her. The house was renovated extensively by Chris Holland. Sometime I would guess in the 70s.
1974.
Okay, that makes sense. So the barn that existed as the Swrail Club has been significantly altered in its interior. It makes for a somewhat difficult house, actually. Lots of different floor, the center, some of the rooms in the side addition, so on and so forth. So I'm not surprised that we're seeing renovation plans. It was going to need them.
Great, thank you. Holly, did the drawings get put in the view pack? I noted when they were posted Friday that they didn't have any more description than the application itself. I mean, there are no drawings or photos or anything in the view pack.
Rob, it's Mary again. We got a PDF. They never got posted to the view pack. I've checked it a couple of times,
Okay,
but not probably since Saturday. So, I mean, if they got added between Saturday and today. But the PDF does give us Luke Thornwell's drawings,
okay,
which
great.
include the shed dormer out back. So that PDF is the thing to be looking at.
All right.
It's actually very low impact. His addition is extremely low impact. In fact, I don't think it can be seen from a public road.
Okay.
Am I to understand that there aren't any photographs with this application? Holly,
There
we
were
hear you. Is there something going on with the mic?
Oh, wait a minute. I see it. Thank you. I didn't see it before. Oh, God. Sorry, everybody. Oh, right. There we are. Okay. Sorry, everybody. I didn't realize that Kadeem had,
No. Hi, Rob. Can you all hear me now? I'm on two computers at the moment.
Hey, we can hear
nicely
you.
done.
Okay, sorry. For some reason, my sound on my laptop is not working, so I'm actually projecting the documents on my laptop, but I'm in the
I can see
Zoom
it.
on my iPad, so
Gotcha.
technology. Okay, so it looks like we have this PDF actually has everything in it. This is
Yep.
what Kadeem had emailed, and thanks for figuring out that it wasn't attached. Sometimes that happens. So to inbound on the NHL data on this was that it was circa 1900 in a style dwelling, but I'm glad that you all had some more context to it, that it was renovated heavily in the 1970s. So that's good to notate.
So we shouldn't feel so bad about the interior getting gutted. That's good, but I'm concerned about the whole back wall where that is bumping out and the eave and the roof getting disturbed. As Mary points out, I don't think it's that visible. I just hate to see significant structures dismantled. The porch will be visible out front. Having been a barn, I'm not sure how appropriate a porch was to begin with, let alone getting bigger. It kind of makes the transition from barn to house in such a way that I kind of wish that there were something more to it than like lean-to roof. Whether it's a railing, a low rail, or some other thing other than just two posts and an awning. It seems too large to just be two posts. That's all.
Thank you, Angus. It's Rob. I think, yeah, it'd be nice to see maybe a little railing on between those. I don't know.
Rob, this is Clement. It's very well set back from the road. I don't know who can see it from behind. Maybe Emma, but maybe not. And it has a little porch, which is even dinkier than the proposed new porch. So yeah, I mean, I guess the porch were better, but nobody's going to see this. And
Rob, it's Mary. How much?
nobody's going to care. That's it.
Thank you. Mary, go ahead.
So the porch currently on it really can barely be seen through the significant hedges on New Street. But what percentage, because I'm only on audio at the moment, what percentage increase in the size of the porch is there? Is it like 50% or 10%? Or I hadn't actually noticed that when I was looking at the
Let's say at least double,
PDF. It's doubled. Okay.
at least.
All right. Good to know. Well,
No.
being as how I'm just turning onto New Street, I'll go drive by and just imagine and sort of let you know.
That's, oh God, I love it.
Turning at the waterworks.
Well, have you noticed the new porch encloses, I mean, it covers the front door and the first window to the left.
Yep.
I don't know why you would want to do that. I mean, you could just have a porch that covers the front door and make it be deeper than the one that exists, but still just over the front door. Although it looks kind of nice. I mean, it takes up about a third of the facade, so it's right in the middle there.
Yeah, and this is Rob, I see from the first floor plan that window to the left of the door is on a stairway.
Yeah, it is. It's hideous.
Could I
It's a
see
sort
the
of a
floor plan?
floating stairway.
Could I see the floor plan?
Yeah, there it is. Caroline, do you see it?
Yes, I do now. The interior was a barn. When Chris did. He kept the feeling of a barn.
Anyone familiar with well, it's beyond our purview, but anyone familiar with the barn interior? Was the original post and beam frame kept, or was it completely gutted?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it was marginally kept. Okay, I'm outside now. The dinky front porch now, increasing the size of that will make a bit of a difference. It will change the whole way it's looked at, and I can see it from the street. Just saying.
Well, I mean, are the leaves still on the hedge, Mary?
Yes.
And you can see it. You can see it with the leaves, so it only gets
but
clearer when the leaves are gone.
Not completely. I can see through the. I mean, I can. You can make it out. It's a little. It's noticeable. It's not. I mean, I would say that the one attractive piece of the old barn is that they kept a fascia board between the first and second floors, so that's kind of attractive. And whether that was a new fascia board or not, I don't know, but.
So the difference between the old 8x4 and the new 13x6 is roughly, it's 2.5 times as big as it was before. The other thing
Yeah.
that caught my eye are the air conditioning units that are like a foot back from the front of this. I'd rather see those on the back of the house, not on the side, and not that close to the facade.
Yeah,
Definitely.
They might
You
not
all
have
have
room in the back, but after they put on this
What
addition,
about
there
this
might not be
dormer?
room.
Do you all have concerns on this dormer on the back?
this is Rob. I don't.
Mary does not either.
I think it could be worse. I guess I would rather see more window in it if it were going to be that large. But it could be wider. It could be taking more of the historic fabric away. So I appreciate the scale of it. And I don't think that it's going to be visible.
Well, this is Clement. I just looked on the site plan. It is on the bathroom, the upstairs bathroom. So I don't know why they need that big of a window on the bathroom.
My guess is to get head height. It's probably about code and head height, because my recollection was they didn't have much of either.
Size of the window though, Mary.
Well, because the window's the dormer. I mean, it adds height. I think that's often why you have it.
It removes
Okay.
the skylight.
That's a good thing.
Yes.
If there were a shower or something else against that wall on one side or the other of the window, I'd get it. But I think there's room for actually a mold window or two windows of that size that would make more sense. It's just to have that much blank space on the dormer. isn't typical.
Thank you, Angus.
Alright. Mr. Chair, I'm just gonna notate on the application that would be nice if we had photographs. I know that, Commissioner Oliver.
It's another application that's not filled out. The photos
Right.
are missing. I mean, what we shouldn't be getting incomplete applications to process.
Yeah. I can't comment, staff in the office does a fantastic job.
Well, I would agree wholeheartedly, Holly, that the staff has been great. The applicants aren't reading the application instructions, and I read them the other day because I needed to, and it's very specific. So.
Well,
It does get frustrating.
this is Mary. What we don't know is whether in fact Luke did include pictures. We do know that they included that whole historical piece because we saw that in the view pack. And then subsequently, we saw the elevations in that PDF. What we don't know is whether there were pictures as well. I mean, it seems odd that there wouldn't be. But I suppose they'll know at the HDC meeting today, or tomorrow rather. No, today.
No, it's tonight, yeah.
Yeah, okay. I'm gonna drop off for just a second so that I can switch from my phone to my tablet now that I'm in my driveway. So if you'll pardon me and let me back in just a sec, please.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Bye.
Caroline, can I ask, doesn't this waste everybody's time to not have a whole package? I just don't understand why you just don't reject it and say, when it's all together, then we'll look at it. It takes the HDC's time too. I really don't have a lot of sympathy for that. That's their job.
Right. Caroline, thank you. You're absolutely right. So I guess we need to proceed. Well, we'll wait for Mary to come back on, but so we'd
Holly,
like
what do
to.
you have for comments for us?
Yeah, thank you.
On the last one?
The one we just did.
Yeah, the porch will be visible from the street. Should be more than just 2 posts. AC unit should be in the back. Need a railing. It is set back from the road. However, it will be a lot larger. Existing porch is barely visible now. It will change the outlook. Dormer on the rear needs to have the either 2 windows or mulled windows in the back, but that is not visible. Yep. And I was going to annotate that the addition at the rear also removes a contemporary skylight.
Yeah. Holly, this is Rob. That sounds good to me. Carolyn and Angus,
Fine.
okay with that? Okay. Moving on, we are now at, this is
6 Sanctity.
Oh.
Yeah.
This is my next door neighbor's, well, one removed.
You can recuse if you'd like.
I don't see why. I mean,
Okay.
I don't know what that.
If you were a direct abutter, then I would say yes. Here we go. Here's the style of the shed.
Yeah, it's very
So
similar.
I notated that from the NHL data that this original house was built in the 1920s. I didn't find any other information on it though.
I'll just add, this is Clement, that there was an original shed on the property that looked very much like the proposed shed that was falling down. It was in terrible repair. They were allowed to demolish it. And I think what they're proposing is pretty much exactly what was there before, but I'm not exactly sure. So I'm gonna mute.
This is Angus. I think it complements the hips on the house and works in the context well.
This is Mary. I agree with Angus. No concerns.
This is Rob. I agree too. It's a charming outbuilding, and it's interesting that it kind of reflects the similar lines at the hedged about next door.
Yeah.
I have no, you know, I hope they build it on my land. So.
All right, no concerns, perfect.
Yep.
That was easy.
And now we're moving to 23 Rear Clifton, which is that big gigundo place on the coffin land that used to be a borrow pit.
Kenny Coffin's dump.
And then it was Eddie Coffin's dump, right? I think the access now, I think
Down my driveway.
down your driveway, I think Karen Quigley gave them a thing across her spot.
Correct.
This property is completely out of view.
There's no
It's
way
over-
to get to it. And what they've done, I mean, while it is an amazing pleasure palace, what they've done is fine. My only objection is it's so beautifully maintained, and all of the trucks and whatnot come straight down my driveway at high speed, but that's really not the owner's issue. They've been responsible and responsive neighbors, so. Yeah, now they get an outdoor, this is their second outdoor fireplace, I might add. They do have an outdoor fireplace on their porch, and now they're going to have one at the pool, which, as you can see, is quite a distance from the porch. Porch is on the
Due to
left.
the lack of visibility, I don't have any issues with it.
You will see it from the right of way, which is called on paper Lennox Way. That's directly behind it. And it is quite visible from there. However, that's not a car road. It's just a walking path.
So wait, does that count as a public way?
Not too
A paper
public.
road?
They're not, these people aren't even allowed to use it. It's owned by the heirs of Levi Coffin. So nobody else can use it, apparently, although we all walk on it. Good for dog
Is it
walkers.
actually platted? Do you know if it's actually, because
Yeah, you can see it in that picture that you just showed. Yeah, you can
oh,
see
the aerial?
yeah, you can see that road. It's called Lennox Way. It runs right along there.
Right here?
Yeah, but see that it's that grass strip. It's mowed. How it's done. It takes a dog leg. You can see that when they were doing the construction, you can see that the construction people used the road coming in, but the Carsons are not allowed to use it. Only the construction crew was allowed to use it. Go figure.
Yep. Hi, it's Rob. What Mary said is very true. I've learned over the years from one of my Sconset informants that way, exactly what Mary said, it's to the heirs of Levi Coffin and no other coffins and nobody else. So it's just it is not a public access. It's private property, deeded private property. And so
They sometimes grant use of it to others, but they never cede ownership so it's never going to be a public way. I have no problem with the fireplace. I mean, I would say that the property is a little overbuilt, but you know, there's nothing, it's just new Sconset.
yes, thank you. Just like 100 Low Beach Road. Okay. So I think I'm correct in saying that our advisory board has no problems with this due to lack of visibility
Yep.
and
Yes.
public access. Okay. Great. Anything else on the agenda? I'm working on some language for our expansion of our zone of influence.
Perfect.
That was my chore for the weekend. It wasn't much of a chore because I never got to it. And it really is not a chore in the first place. But I got hijacked by some Sconset Trust projects. Anyway, but I will do that soon and email my suggestions to you individually. And I'm going to include Kathy Flynn on that proposal too, because she's been really helpful in making us understand how all that process works. Obviously, I'll send it to Holly as well. And
Yes, and then we can get it before the HDC, obviously provided the chair is okay with that, to put it on the agenda. But that would also, you know, kind of get this process going and hopefully they can bless it and move forward, right?
yeah,
Can
great.
you all hear me? Okay.
We can hear
Mr.
you. It's
Iffy?
Well,
Yeah,
you kind of
yeah.
slow down every now and then.
Oh,
Right.
sorry.
That's all right. It's like,
Mr. Chair, I wanted to also remind the board about the election of officers now that that's been everybody's been re-upped now.
okay.
I'd like to nominate Rob as chair.
I would
Second.
say that.
Okay. No, that's fine.
That was a
I-
tie.
I think
Unanimous.
we're all in favor.
We
okay, well,
love-
thank Jesus God. Um, it's really okay. I'm honored, and I also I don't have a speech prepared, but anyway, this is all hard work, everybody, and I know half of the time we spend being frustrated because we are kind of under assault, but anyway, we'll just carry on.
You all do a wonderful job, so we appreciate it.
Well, thank you, and it's also
Thanks to you.
yeah, thanks to you, Holly. I mean our sentiments are now heard sort of in double time by our parent board, and we appreciate it, and I have a feeling they do too. So
They do, and if you frequently listen to the HDC, the chair especially will annotate comments that you all and historic structures make, and appreciates that. So, and I do want to let you all know publicly that I have expressed my appreciation for you all because I can't do my job without the advisory board's assistance. So, and especially these trying and unprecedented times, and pulled in many different directions. So I greatly appreciate it. So thank you.
Terrific. Holly, can I ask, and this is for everybody at the same time. I sat in on the was it Thursday or Friday meeting about 100 Low Beach Road, and they talked about the pool and the pool building, and they were going to get to the house itself. But there was some, Ray, the chairman, had to leave, and he came back, and I missed it, and then I tried to see it again on the town website replays, but they hadn't posted it yet. So I know that they had asked for more revisions. There was a lot of comment about that particular area being, quite untouched, and this was a definite touch going on, especially it being adjacent to conservation of the Sconset Trust and the town. There's some town land down there, and there was a little bit of discussion about the use, and that's where I'm going about the use. And I know it's not our purview, but do you know if they asked for more revisions on the house itself? I know they did for the pool and the pool house, that they're not calling a pool house anymore, because what it is a clubhouse.
Yeah.
But and
Yeah, I don't have it in front of me,
okay,
but
that's fine. But it
I don't believe they did.
I'm guessing it got continued, but I just wanted to, which I was going to do Thursday, but I got whisked away myself in these frustrating times. But I just wanted to talk about the use of it, and I know that's beyond the HCC's purview, and maybe we could figure out at what point the use of that property becomes in question, because it looks like a commercial destination housing party thing. And
Oh, you think they're making it into a party house?
well, when your
Yes.
pool house has seating for 20 people, I think so. And the house has 2 master bedrooms, 5 bathrooms. They don't even include the guest house on the plan, because I guess they're not going to touch it this time. But it just digesting very carefully the plans of the house and the pool, put it all together. I mean, there's one of the parties of the owners is a owner of a jetliner service that does destination weddings and destination parties and everything. And I'm concerned that
Yep.
I'm concerned.
Mr. Chair, duly noted. I just would advise one, that it's not on your purview. So I would just be careful on discussing a little bit more. But obviously, like I said before, anything that's not on your agenda, please. And I did read comments into the record, for
Yep.
the HDC, so they knew what Sconset Trust's concerns were. So please, I encourage that. Anything that's not in your purview at the moment, please send, but obviously be careful of stuff that's not on your agenda to discuss.
Gotcha.
And, yes, the HDC and you all through as an arm, your purview is not the use. You have to look at the architectural and aesthetic features of the streetscape. So it's a duly warranted question, and I don't think you're the only ones to notate that. When we see these larger estate-like places, you can only assume, but again, that's where zoning comes in, and it goes into property rights and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So I would just be careful on it.
Okay.
So, it looks like had 23 Clifton and they already reviewed it, America, just so you know. No major concerns.
Correct.
Thank you very much. This is Mirka Aaron. Thank you, Holly, for, I just wanted to say, thank you. And I kind of had a little different time. So sorry to interrupt your meeting.
No
nice
worries. No,
Okay.
thank you for coming.
All right, bye.
The chair notices your participation, and our board appreciates it. Thanks for coming. Holly, thanks for your response to my statement, and I just needed to say it because I've been stewing, so I
Understood.
recognize. All right, thank you.
Well, and thank you for reading my comments also on behalf of the trust. I'm not speaking for this board. I could speak for this board too, but thank
If
you.
those boundaries changed and then you can speak on that on the board.
Okay.
To see what happens, my next door neighbors, I mean, what they're doing is perfectly within their rights and they got approved and everything else, and it's going to be great. But when you take 6 trucks into that property, it wrecks so much more than just what is going to be built. So,
Yep.
Yeah.
Do we
Okay.
have any, Mr. Chair, do we have any updates? I don't have anything on 19 Broadway. You did send me those pictures and I need to forward them to Kathy. But do we have any updates on the Marconi station?
I now have the name of the person and have left a message for the correct person, I think, to call back.
Sounds good. We got progress here.
In reference to 19 Broadway, do we need to have that on our agenda? Isn't that something that when they complete it, they will come back to Plus and ask for a
Yes.
certificate of appropriateness?
Yes, we can take that off.
Is that okay with everybody?
Yes.
Good with
I
me.
like taking things off my list.
Yeah, absolutely.
Me too.
Yeah. Yeah. If anybody could help me, tell me how to photograph an umbrella, that'd be great. But we don't have to put that on the agenda. Okay, the chair makes a motion to do what? Oh,
Approve comments.
accept our comments.
So moved.
Thank you, Angus.
second,
Thank you. How does everyone vote? Caroline?
Yes.
Thank you. Mary Lathrop Will?
Yes.
Thank you. Clement Durkis?
yes,
And Rob says yes too. That is unanimous. And there being no further business, I'll make a motion that we adjourn.
I will second.
Thank you. All those in favor? Caroline? Yep. Mary Lathrop Will?
Yes.
Thank you. Angus?
Aye.
Clement?
yes.
And Holly? What do you think? Okay, good.
Sounds wonderful.
Motion made and seconded. And
Thank you.
Approved.
Thank you,
right,
guys.
thanks,
I'll
everybody.
see you, Holly, at 1.
See you later, Angus. Have a good day, everybody.